welcome back to the channel, everyone. You know who we are, you know how we do. Let's get into it. It's safe to say that the Terrifier franchise is divisive. While I really enjoy the first film, I enjoy it within the confines of what it actually is. It has no story, it has no plot or character development, but it's a nice proof of concept film. You get to see a lot of cool kills. You get to see Art the Clown being awesome. So it's exactly that. It was a proof of concept film. Then we got Terrifier 2, which was infinitely superior to the first one because it actually had a plot, it had a story, it had genuine intrigue and build up. It left you thinking, man, where did this guy come from? Like what's going on here? And plus, even better kills than the first one. Bedroom kill anyone? Now we have Terrifier 3, or as I like to call it, a Terrifier Christmas. I was fired up for this movie, man. Everything down to the Christmas concept, the setting, the idea of Art the Clown all dressed up as Santa Claus, see some Christmas themed kills. I was beyond excited for this. But did it deliver? While it's not better than the first, obviously not better than the. Oh, it's better than the first one. But what I mean is, while it's not better than the second one, I still think it really delivered. I like that they really took advantage of the Christmas setting. Art the Clown was equally sadistic and fucked up as he always is. You still had the story and the character development. I like that they were exploring Sienna's trauma and how her family is coping with that, how they're trying to help her. While they could have done better with her brother, get to that we'll get to that soon. I think he was well used for the most part up until the third act reveal. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of. While I'm, it's not that I'm not a fan of the fact that they killed him off screen, because I'll defend it for this. I like that it shows stakes, that no one is safe, but my issue with it is that he wasn't in it that much. What scenes we did get with him were meaningful with his interactions with Sienna. We show that he's actually more level-headed. He's in college. He's trying to just get away from all that and move on. So those scenes were good. It's not that any the scenes we did get with him were useless. It's just that we needed more with him so that his death could have been more impactful. And then the cliffhanger ending, which I know a lot of people, depending on how you execute it, are always pissed about cliffhanger endings. But I actually like the cliffhanger ending. For one, what it actually leaves you off on, it got me invested in where it's going to go next. But also because it saves the series from becoming cyclical, if that's the right word. With Sienna defeating Art every time, trying to recover in the next film, then Art comes back, wash, rinse, repeat. It saves the series from becoming that. So there is a part of me that really likes that. All around, I thought Terrifier 3 was great. I could see myself watching this around every Halloween and even Christmas. And I will say this. To all the people that keep hyping up the gore in this film, calm the fuck down, please. This was brutal. I think we'd all agree. On its own merits, Terrifier 3 was still brutal. But running out of the theater, fainting in the theater, puking, I wouldn't know because I was the only person in my theater, unfortunately. But I didn't throw up. I didn't puke. So calm the fuck down. But all that said, I am going to give Terrifier 3 a 8.5 out of 10. Um, who wants to go next? Rome?
Sure, I'll go next. So, I saw this movie with a full pack theater where you have people cheering, laughing, having a great time watching Terrifier 3. I wasn't going in here with like high expectations. I was expecting this to be a good movie and continue that trend where Terrifier 2 was. This kind of exceeded my expectations, and I really had a good time watching this movie. And it might have been because I was in a full pack full pack house theater watching this movie with just nobody left the theater, nobody like threw up. People were going just knowing what the first two movies were. Fans were it was a lot of fans who were really excited to see this movie. I thought this movie was really good. I thought Art the Clown, we got a chance to see more of his personality. There was a lot of moments where he's laughing, goofing, not laughing, but goofing off, and kind of doing like a Freddy Krueger type thing before he kills his character, before he kills his victims. And some of my favorite moments was like the bar scene with Santa Claus and the shower scene where he's hearing that girl who's like obsessive with like the serial killer, and just hearing his reactions. And those things were really fun. And I thought the opening wasn't really like, if you're going into a Terrifier movie, you kind of know what you're going to get. So I just don't see why people making an overreaction out of it. Maybe it's people who are not normally like casual horror fans, but not people who just go and see these kind of movies. In my opinion, I thought the star of the movie to me was not Art the Clown or Sienna. I thought it was Vicky. I thought Vicky by Act 3 was really like outshining Art the Clown a little bit with her performance. I believe her name was, what's her name? Excuse me, I can't remember it. She was in the first one, but either way, the actress who played it was, I thought was, yeah, Vicky. I'm talking about the actress who played Vicky.
Oh,
yeah, I had her name, but I can't find it. So either way, I was surprised how good she was, especially in that Act 3, where it was like she took over and Art was kind of like with her versus what I thought it was going to be. But they really paid off the Vicky character in my opinion, which I really, really like. And answered questions from the second one and from the first one that that wasn't answered in that second one. Like I enjoyed the second one, but they really kind of gave you more explanations about where Art's from, being a demon, and some of the rules, a little more rules explained. And I really liked that there was more of a, not just a story, but just answering more questions, and made me feel like Terrifier 2 got better after watching this movie. Same with Terrifier 1 with the Vicky stuff. I thought that was surprisingly good. I thought Sienna was good. Sienna was good, played by Lauren Lavera. I thought she continued to do a good job. I didn't think she did a great job, but I thought they had the trend, and I kind of see what they're doing with her. And being in a packed house, like with just to see a movie like this, or just being in a packed house with a bunch of horror fans who are like just cheering and going crazy for the kills, and just seeing that fan experience it just made me feel like this movie got I gave it a higher score because I really had a great time watching this movie. Though I do question some people who were like laughing and some other stuff during the kills, but that's a different story. I think some of the things I didn't like, maybe because like some killings happen off screen. I don't know if it was like just a tighter like 2-hour budget and they couldn't really add stuff to it. Maybe that was part of the why we get some of the other kills, which I'm still wondering if they really happened or not, and they're just playing mind games with Sienna. Overall, I thought this movie was a really good movie. I like the Nightmare on Elm Street 4 through 6 vibes with it. I like the sprinkle of a little bit of Halloween and Hostile and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I like that. This was a really good horror movie. And really good slasher movie for 2024. But overall, to me, like I would recommend people to check this movie out. If there's another negative for me would be like there's a scene I think was a little more controversial with the children at the Christmas mall. I thought that was a little more like I could see people being offended by because it does hit a realistic perspective. But besides that, I thought this movie was great. My score's at 8.5 out of 10.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go. Art the Clown and I have a bit of a complicated history. The character himself is fun, and David Howard Thornton does a great job playing the role. But he was never one of my favorite horror icons, and the reason being is I'm not a big fan of his movies. All Hallows Eve was a bad, cheap, and boring anthology movie. I absolutely fucking despise the first Terrifier. I think that movie is garbage. Sure, you can give me cool kills, but if you're not going to give me a plot and you're not going to give me characters, sorry, I'm not going to be interested. The whole movie, it's just, Damien Leone saying, look at how cool my character is. Look at how cool he is. Isn't he cool? Isn't he cool? Isn't he cool? Like, if you keep trying to shove in that he's cool, I'm not going to think he's cool. Give me a plot. Give me a story. Give me characters. This is, you have a woman getting cut in half with a fucking hacksaw, but this movie is boring. But then Terrifier 2 came out, and that was a huge surprise. I surprisingly liked that movie. It does have some issues, such as the runtime. In my opinion, a slasher movie does not need to be over 2 hours. Some scenes going on for way too long, like the Clown Cafe, like the dream sequence at the Clown Cafe, that went on for too goddamn long. And the unlikable mother character. The kills were a lot of fun. Art had a lot more personality. Sienna and Jonathan were likable leads, and the big fight with Art and Sienna was great. Just seeing her in that Valkyrie outfit Lauren looked fucking amazing in that outfit. It felt like Damien Leone actually listened to the criticisms people had with the first Terrifier, and he wanted to improve them. With that being said, I didn't know what to expect from this movie. I could go either way. I could either like it like the second movie, or I could absolutely despise it like the first movie. After seeing it with Pat's house, I thought it was a fun time. It's not great. It's not better than the second one. But I'll gladly take it over the first Terrifier and All Hallows Eve. That's for fucking sure. Of all the movies, I'd say this is definitely Art at his most intimidating, at his most fun. David Howard Thornton, he's definitely shows a lot more personality than he has in the other movies. He's like a mix between Freddy Krueger and like a character in an old silent movie. Like, he knows how to express a lot of emotion with just his eyes and his face without actually saying anything. Whether he's just fucking around with the people in the bar, or he's killing people in fucked up ways, he's a delight. He's always a delight to see as Art. I also thought bringing back Vicky, she was a welcome addition. She was like Art's his Harley Quinn, or his the Bonnie to his Clyde. And I found it interesting, it comes around full circle that she was, that the person that survived him was just so fucking insane. She's just willing to team up with, the person that killed, her sister. Lauren Rivera, she's still incredibly likable as Sienna. I also really like the family that takes her in. I also liked how her and Jonathan were the different ways they were handling their trauma. Because Sienna is still having a hard time moving on, while Jonathan, is going to college and he's trying to make an attempt to move on. The kills and the violence, they're still gnarly and a ton of fun. My favorites are the scenes where the kids get killed by the bomb and when the guy gets the chainsaw shoved up his ass. The movie, it's fun. It is funny. And also, no, the kills are not as gross and as vomit-inducing as everybody says it is. I've seen a lot worse than this. Keep in mind, I sat through Cannibal Holocaust. That ain't got shit on this. These movies don't have shit on that movie. And lastly, I really liked the song by Ice Nine Kills called A Work of Art. Because Ice Nine Kills kicks ass. When it comes to my issues with this movie, Jonathan was barely in it. And surprised me. I thought he was going to have a bigger role like he did in the second one, but he doesn't. He shows up for a couple of scenes, and then he gets killed off screen by Art and Vicky. Like, really? Okay, then. I wish he was in the movie a lot more because I liked his and Sienna's chemistry. I did feel in parts the movie went on for a bit too long. Again, a slasher movie does not need to be over 2 hours. And lastly, I thought the ending was a bit anticlimactic. And just having it be a cliffhanger was a little bit of a cop-out. But overall, the movie, it's still a bloody good time. If you're a fan of this franchise, you're a fan of Art the Clown, this is going to be right up your alley. You don't need me to tell you any different. You're going to see it anyway. But still, despite liking both this and Terrifier 2, Art the Clown is still not one of my favorite horror icons. For me, he's not at the level of a Michael Myers, a Freddy Krueger, a Pennywise, or Sam for me. Because in terms of evil clowns, Pennywise and the Killer Clowns from Outer Space have him beat. Sorry, Damien. But I give it an enthusiastic 7 out of 10.
All right. Now we saved the best for last. So probably the one that's the most critical. So let me go ahead and get this out of the way. When Terrifier 3 was announced, I honestly could care less. I mean, I wasn't familiar with the Art the Clown or the movies. And the only reason I agreed to see it is because this guy up here is a massive fan of this franchise. And even though I didn't know shit about him, I was like, you know what? I want to support my friend. This is one of his most anticipated movies. I'll do it for him. So, so what I had to do like a few weeks ago is I had to play catch up. So I pretty much binged on both Terrifier 1, Terrifier 2, and the first All Hallows Eve. And yeah, let's just say that I was less than impressed. So, and yes, that does include Terrifier 2. I did not like that movie, the one that everybody and their grandmother loves. So you can Phantom Zone me after I'm done with my review. So I'm sorry, I was not a fan. I felt like Damien Leone was trying to shove in a horror icon into our faces, and the acting wasn't good, and I couldn't care about like a lot of the characters in that movie. So yeah, the kills were cool, but I mean, it didn't do anything for me, honestly. So with that being said, I will say that my chances or my expectations were even lower because I was expecting to hate this movie. Even to the point, even the positive reviews didn't sway me because I was like, the second one got a lot of positive reviews, and I didn't like that one. So, but you know what? I said to myself, I'm still going to give it a chance. I did all this effort. I did all of it for him, for this guy right here. So, and I will say that after I saw Terrifier 3 last night in a packed theater, mind you, and it's not bad, honestly. It's honestly a decent watch, and I would probably say that this is, in my opinion, the best of the franchise. Not that that's saying a lot since I didn't care for any of the other films. And it's not perfect, but I'll take it over the last three. Art the Clown felt a little bit more menacing and terrifying than he did the other ones. Sure, it does still annoy me that Damien Leone was still trying to act like he was forcing this horror icon in the veins of Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Chucky, etc. You know, it still did get kind of annoying for me. But you know what? I actually felt like he was a little more menacing here than he was in the other movies. The kills were a lot of fun. Even though I didn't like the other movies, the kills were easily the best part of them. They are sure they're not vomit inducing, but then again, I think people who say that probably haven't watched a lot of horror movies. So remember, people back in back in the mid 2000s said the same thing about the first Saw. So and the violence was tame in that movie. But I digress. I love the use of practical effects, and just it's very impressive on what Damien Leone can do with such a low budget. I mean, these movies were made for pennies, like I think the highest budget that any of these movies ever got was this one, and that was only $2 million. And keep in mind, the average movie is like what, 100 million. That's the average Hollywood movie. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. So. But anyway, 2 million is nothing compared to what like a lot of Hollywood movies are. And it's impressive on what he's able to get away with. The characters I felt like were more fleshed out. I did care about Sienna and Jonathan in this movie a lot more because I couldn't care about their character at first, but it felt like they were more fleshed out here, and they just felt more developed. So, and even the acting from both of them was better. And I will say the climax of the movie, the ending, it was awesome. Yes, you can say it's a cop that the cliffhanger was just a cop out, but it didn't really bother me that much. So it didn't bother me at all. So now, as I said, the movie's not perfect and it still has problems. First of all, just like the last film, I felt the runtime could have been trimmed down. I do agree with everything Devin says. No horror slasher movie needs to be 2 hours long. It was a problem I had in Terrifier 2, and it's a problem I have here. There was no reason for it to be that long. Jonathan, I felt like even though I was getting more into his character, I felt like they killed him off a little too early, and especially the fact that they killed him off screen and we don't even know what happens. It was really disappointing in that regards. And lastly, I felt like some of the other, like even though the acting was better from the two main leads and David Howard Thornton is having a blast playing Art the Clown. I felt like some of the other acting and the characters just felt off to me. But then again, honestly, no horror movie is going to win like best acting nomination. So, but overall, while this movie isn't great, it's still a fun time. And as I said, I think that this is the best of the Terrifier movies so far. And that's coming from someone who didn't care for any of the three beforehand. If you're a fan of Art the Clown, of course you're going to see it. So you're going to see this regardless of what any of us think. So, however, if you're not a big Art the Clown fan, I would at least say maybe give it a chance. Maybe you might be surprised like I was. So, and with that, my score is a 7.5 out of 10. Go ahead and get it over with for me shitting on Terrifier 2.
Ooh, dramatic build-up, I see.
Time's up!
I'll never get sick of seeing that clip.
I did feel like Terrifier 3 was like
I know,
Empire
right?
Strikes Back for this franchise. The cliffhanger with evil winning, like it just had that Empire Strikes Back like vibe for what Damien Leone was trying to do.
Yeah, if you really think about it.
It was the best choice for the movie.
I mean, to be fair, the villain, like, Art winning is something we've seen in this franchise before. I mean, he won in All Hallows Eve, and he won in the first Terrifier. Like, the police didn't even stop him. He blew his head off.
Yeah.
And then he came back at the end. The second one was the first time where someone else actually killed him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the first one for me was very simplistic. Hallows Eve, I learned where it's like, I guess it came out as a short like movie on YouTube or something, and then they decided to put money into it, and then kind of put 3 short stories together. I don't know how that whole thing came about.
From what I remember reading about, I think they said that the budget for Terrifier 2, like a lot of the money came from like Damien Leone's crowdfunding campaign.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You know,
it
from
was
his fans.
$250,000.
You know,
Yeah, the second one was like 250,000, and the first one was like 33 to 55,000. That's why I love.
Yeah,
That's why,
this is
You're on the
honestly
right track.
like I said, this is honestly the first Terrifier movie that where the budget was like more than $1 million, even though it was only $2 million.
right.
And it's looking to make 11 to 18 million over the weekend.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised because like I said, my theater was packed.
Yeah, it's on his way to already. No surprise, beating Joker, Folia Doo.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And it would have been better if there were 2 people that didn't know when to shut the fuck up.
I had the same thing too. Just one guy was just the entire theater had to tell him to shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Like there was just that one person.
It makes me long for the days where employees, like theater employees, they'd walk in with like the little light, and they would tell people to stop talking or put their phones away, or they would kick them out. We need those days back, like
Agreed.
ASAP.
I
Ever
was
since
gonna say-
COVID, theater etiquette became worse.
I was going to say,
know what I would do?
consider yourself lucky if your theater is an Alamo Draft House. Because they have a very strong, strict no talking policy. Where if you're
wow.
caught talking, they'll give you a warning, and then if you do it again, they're kicking you out without a refund.
You know what I would just do? Have the balls just show the Deadpool no silence your phone thing for every movie, even the kids film.
But they wouldn't even listen anyway.
No, they wouldn't.
Hey, Bub, you're in a movie theater, not the jerk off room in your mama's basement.
I honestly, I loved that. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Whew. So, where do you think they're going to go for Terrifier 4? Because it is confirmed at the world premiere. They did confirm there will be.
I mean, they left it off with the cliffhanger. It's pretty much going to be
She's going to hell.
Sienna going to hell,
Yeah.
going up against Art the Clown.
And I don't think Jonathan's really dead because when they showed that skull, they told her it was Gabby. Then they messed with her, and then they say it was Jonathan. I thought the skull that we saw was the little girl from the opening of the movie. Because we don't know what they did to that little girl, so maybe that was their conclusion to like, hey, they killed her too.
Yeah.
And they're just messing with Sienna because like they know how post-traumatic she is and everything else. You know, we don't know what happened to Jonathan. All we know is like he died off screen.
It could go either way, and I think it could work. Like it could be he's actually dead, and I think it actually could be effective because they could have given him more screen time, but I actually don't mind the balls to do it because
I just wish we saw it.
Mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually agree with what Cody Leaf said is that if you showed his death beforehand, then the reveal wouldn't have worked.
You could have at least had maybe like
I don't think so.
like after they said it was Jonathan's head, they could have had like brief flashes of Jonathan getting ganged up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Devin on that one. Like they should have just make it clear that they really killed him off and did some psychotic shit to him. But
Exactly.
yeah, I just think he's still alive and somehow he's.
We
somewhere.
we don't even know if we never even saw how he died. They just said that he's dead. So they honestly, I wouldn't have. I was honestly when I saw the skull because they said that was Gabby. I kept thinking it was actually the
father,
the boy. Well, the father's head was on the Christmas tree. So I was thinking it was like
I was thinking of
the boyfriend in the shower.
True. I was thinking of Sienna's father because they kept showing flashes of her father, flashbacks. So I thought like maybe they're gonna play off something with the father.
By the way, this movie shot down the biggest fan theory that I and a lot of people had about the first film, or the second one, and that Art was Sienna's father. That's what I was thinking the whole time seeing the second one.
That wouldn't have made sense though.
No, it wouldn't have.
It definitely won't make sense. It definitely wouldn't make sense now, but both the second one, that's what I was thinking. A lot of people thought that, believe it or not. That was like.
And he's gone.
Zach.
Somebody screenshot that. Screenshot it.
Zach. Yep, looks like Zach's brain is broken, ladies and gentlemen. After talking about Terrifier,
But I thought like this movie really answers questions.
Let's all do a smile.
what were you saying?
Yeah, I thought like this movie answered some questions, like took a little bit of a biblical like route, because like they made Sienna like the angel, Art's the demon, you know, and they really were trying to like give you this angel versus demon type fight. Like they really cleared it up, like they're going more like a religious, not religious, but like a biblical thing between the two of them.
Yeah, I can see it, because I mean, you know, she dressed up like a Valkyrie angel in the first one, and you know, Art is he's definitely a demon,
right?
Yeah. And one of the fan theories I read, and honestly, this wouldn't surprise me, is like when someone like these kills, like people should be dead like instantly, like the fucking bedroom, like the bedroom kill, man. Like no one would be able to survive that long.
Right.
No.
So the theory I read was the reason like it takes so long for them to die is because Art is using his powers to prolong their suffering. Like he brings, like he tortures and he murders, and he makes people suffer just to amuse himself. He's not like the typical clowns, you know, that bring joy and laughter to everyone else.
Right. Yeah, they answered that question by making it clear Vicky was like his vessel. Mm-hmm. So for him to regenerate, to come back after getting killed, or to have like this long life expectancy after getting his head cut off, or what happened in the second movie, him coming back, her giving birth to a head, which was his, like just really like making it clear like that's his vessel to stay alive. And then like they ended with, you know, obviously Sienna killing Vicky, where he has no vessel, so he's kind of screwed right now. And now he's back at a point where like he goes on that bus, he sees another girl reading the ninth circle, which a nice callback to the to Hallows Eve, which I'm like, oh, okay, they're going back to that ninth circle route. Where to me, that's why I thought, okay, he is a demon. He is. So to me, bottom line, at the end of that movie, he found his next vessel, or his next Vicky, to keep him continue to go and, you know, continue to be that monster he is without worry about getting killed off.
Right.
What you guys think of the there's a couple of like fucked up scenes in this movie. The one that really kind of was really fucked up was when Vicky was masturbating with the glass.
Oh my god, that was nasty.
That was, oh my god, wow. Yeah.
That was some fucked up shit.
That made everybody like really uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck?
I know. I just remember like when that happened, everybody in the theater just went at like a big oh.
Yep.
Yeah, this, and just like the first hour alone, man, this movie crosses 3 major lines that most horror movies won't even touch with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, like, you know,
Zach,
setting off a bomb and a ball and killing a bunch of kids.
Oh, that was the one where I was like, oof, like, it didn't offend me, but like I can see where it could offend some people because of like.
I like how they went around it because you see it happening, like in the beginning, you hear him hacking up the kid, but they don't show it.
Oh, the opening, yeah.
I actually think showing it would have like been too much. So, and I still think that's enough though. You get to, like in a good way, you get to have your cake and eat it too. You know, still want to cross lines and all that shit.
But I thought they were going to show, because they were saying the opening of the movie was what got people throwing up and walking out of their theater.
Please, none of the kills in this. Like even this film's most brutal kill, which in my opinion is the shower one.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing tops the bedroom kill.
I mean, he takes a chainsaw and jams up his ass.
Yeah.
Just cut off his balls.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. For as much as I think they have overhyped the gore in this, like, and all the reports you heard about, like, oh, they vomited and fainted in the theater. The only two things that I can believe are the bedroom kill and the hacksaw kill. Those I could see people like getting sick and vomiting.
Oh,
Nothing.
Zach, could you pull up Mark's comment?
Mark, my man.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
What's the matter, Mark? You look like you've seen a ghost.
But like I was saying before I freaking got cut off, is like everyone and their mother with Terrifier 2, like everyone and their mother, that was their big theory was that Art is Sienna's father.
No.
No.
I was just talking about when you left or when you got froze up that like they're going more of a biblical route where like Art's a demon, Sienna's this angel warrior from heaven, and they're gonna clash, and they're going more of a biblical route with these characters.
Yep, and again, that's my biggest positive with this film is that because they said they wanted to go back more to the tone of the first film, which I'm sure worried all of us. I mean, it's gonna be plotless like the first one, but here's and I want to see what Devin thinks about this. Is that they were actually able to balance because the first film's biggest strength was that it had an overall story. This film is able to balance the story and the gritty tone of the first film.
Yeah, you're on the right track with that.
Yeah.
So
I did think this one made the first one, the second one better because they answered questions about the second one. They gave Vicky a bigger role, a more important role in explaining like the reason she's with him is because that's his vessel to keep him alive or to reborn or whatever it is that she was meant to be there for him. Then with Sienna killing her off, and then at the end he finds his next vessel with the girl reading the ninth ring, which will call back to Hallows Eve, the ninth ring, which I thought was a really nice callback to try to wrap that. That was really
because of that. By the way, All Hallows Eve confirmed is actually canon with this franchise now.
Oh yeah, it always was, in my opinion. They just didn't have it. They didn't find a way to tie it into it.
Yeah. Even though All Hallows Eve, like Art the Clown, is only in like the last segment, and that's it.
Now
he was in the first segment too, like briefly.
And then he was in the
but like for a couple seconds, but that's about it.
He looked weird in that first segment with the guy.
Well, it was a different actor who played him. It was like a stunt man or somebody who was like
David Howard's
buddy, whatever.
Hadn't played him in plot. Where we're going, we don't need plot. You'd be surprised. Surprised, Mark. Terrifier 2 and 3, they got plot. They got plot for days.
See, I like Terrifier 2 a lot as well, but like it was overly with over plot, but they didn't really answer stuff. Where this one really answered more stuff, and I thought the second one just kind of like dragged on a little bit. Where this one, I felt like I didn't feel the pacing as much as the second one because that Clown Cafe thing, like you guys mentioned, was just like on a long perjury, can we get through it type thing.
All right, guys, what do you think? Do we agree with this?
Him and Mark are on an island on their own.
Yeah,
they are.
You guys are on your own.
Respect your opinion.
But I'll say this, John. But I'll say this that will get your interest. Terrifier 3 has child murder.
Look, I don't love this movie, but I would gladly take it over Joker Folia do.
Same here. Same here.
I'm glad y'all liked it, but what do I have to say about that?
Okay.
All jokes aside, though, man, I'm glad y'all love that movie. But
yeah. Well, I mean, they have their clown movie. We have ours. So
yep.
My clown movie is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Glorious.
Mine's Pennywise from Tim Curry.
Yeah,
I still love Tim Curry's Pennywise.
Tim Curry.
I'm actually curious. For those of you who don't think he's a horror icon yet, do you think it would take just the next movie being good for him to get there?
Who knows?
I mean,
I feel like he's on his way of being there. I mean, he has a huge following. I mean, this was a character that made his appearance in 2008 in a short movie that ended up being like something else for Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
and then continue to really get more interest, and there's a more of a mystery, and he's on his way of being another modernized iconic horror character. I know of
Yeah.
like all-time icon, but iconic character, but at least a modernized iconic character. It's hard to really find modernized iconic characters because everybody today just keeps going back to Michael Myers, Jason, Pinhead, Chucky. They keep going back to them instead of really trying to find the next modern iconic horror character. You know, and I think that's one thing I can give Art the Clown. I was like, he's in that modernized conversation. I just don't know all time great, but like, I'm really all time like up there with Freddy and Jason and Pennywise and Michael Myers, because the big three to me is Michael Myers and Freddy and Jason.
Yeah, he's definitely not.
I'd agree.
Freddie will always be my number one. So
he's not an all-time great for me, and he definitely isn't going to replace anyone on my horror Rushmore. But I'll say this because the first film, he grabbed my attention with just how cool he was. And then in the second one, I will admit, this guy's an icon. But it wasn't in the way like, I'm going to put him on a pedestal. He's better than all the rest. Like,
I mean, I would put him on a tier 2 or tier 3. He's not on that tier 1. If there's tiers of like, horror characters, I wouldn't put him on tier 1 with.
Yeah. It's like he definitely has all the ingredients to be a horror icon. Memorable kills, a memorable look, and memorable presence and stuff like that. His screen presence.
He's memorable. He's memorable enough.
Yeah. Like he's definitely left an impression. He's left a stamp.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Jack in the Box, thank God. So I give him props for that. I don't know if you guys have seen the movies Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
It's another killer. It's another killer clown.
I thought you were talking about the restaurant.
No. There's another.
I don't have any of those in New Jersey.
Yeah. I love me some Jack in the Box. What? Don't you be slandering.
I think the closest Jack in the Box is like 3 hours for me.
We have nothing called Jack in the Box up in New England.
I mean, Jack in the Box. Like I said, I think the only one I went to was the one that's in Charlotte, and that's 3 hours for me.
Yeah, I'd say like my current like horror Mount Rushmore would be Michael, Freddy, Sam, and
it's always that fourth one because there's so many to pick.
Yeah.
I guess for now,
without a second thought.
Yeah, the fourth one's tough. Maybe Jason. I don't know.
Let's see. For me, if I had to pick, let's see here. Freddy is obviously there because he's my number one. Then there's Michael. Then there's probably would say Sam from Trick or Treat, and I don't know. I guess Jigsaw. I don't know. I'd have to really think about that.
My 4 without a thought is, Freddy number 1, Michael Myers number 2, Chucky number 3, then Jason number 4.
Mine is my boy Michael. He's my favorite of all time. Then Ghostface. It's always been my second favorite franchise of all time behind Michael. Then Freddy. Gotta have Freddy on there. And then this is gonna surprise you. I'm going with Jigsaw. And it was because of Saw X. Saw X with how good it was is what replaced Chucky.
Yeah, I'll even admit Mark Pumpkinhead is better.
Yeah, Pumpkinhead's awesome too.
And Pumpkinhead's an awesome fucking movie.
Even the Wishmaster character was good too.
I didn't see Wishmaster.
I didn't see it either.
4 movies of that.
It'd be Zima. Okay.
And I do like Pinhead. I've only seen the first 2 Hellraisers, and of course I've seen the remake because that was one of our earliest reviews.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only Hellraiser movies I've seen were the original and the one from a couple of years ago that we did a review on.
I'll say this: I think I would pick a Leprechaun over Art the Clown because I thought Leprechaun is one of those characters I thought was iconic too.
You see,
I still love those
you see,
movies.
you see, I don't like the Leprechaun movies.
I mean,
Those are fun.
they're really stupid, honestly. So,
But that's the point. They're just fun, like stupid, like wild, raunchy kind of movies. They're awesome.
Woman. Care to run that by us again?
What did I say?
what, he doesn't like the
Was it
Leprechaun
about the
movies?
Leprechaun movies?
Bingo.
I'm not into them either.
I mean, Warwick Davis is fun, but the movies aren't good.
Exactly. Phantom Zone in 3, 2, 1.
1.
Leprechaun City, motherfucker.
Come on. Bring it on.
We're waiting.
I'm gonna let you off once. Lucky.
Oh, what?
You're lucky.
Did
I'm letting
you
off.
do it yet?
Nope.
Nope. He's stalling.
I'm
That's
letting
what
you
he's
off
doing.
with a warning. I'm letting you off with a warning.
As Mark's even said, get on with it.
Get on with it. Yeah.
I'm letting you off
get on
with a
with
warning.
it!
So
I'm
let
letting
me ask
you
this
off with a
question:
warning.
how was your theater when they saw that chainsaw shower scene and that whole thing?
Oh,
My
yeah,
theater
I
was
just-
just going off.
They were just
They
going
just,
like,
yeah.
ooh.
I spent my
For
time
the
looking
most
at
part, my theater was well behaved. But
Yeah.
but when like a gnarly kill happened, everyone was like, "Ooh, shit!"
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I
But they
guess
weren't
that's the
annoying.
one. I guess that's the one perk of me having the theater to myself was that I could be as loud as I'm like, oh god damn.
I'm surprised about
Your
theater
was
packed.
your
That's
theater
wild.
was the complete opposite of mine,
Yeah.
Zach.
Like, dude,
Same.
it's just
Same here.
the theater that whole day when I went was just empty. Like a few people showed up when I saw Nightmare Before Christmas before because I saw this and that is a double feature. Oh, funny. I gotta bring this up because it's ironic, isn't it, that I saw this and Nightmare Before Christmas as a double feature because on the ride home from the theater, I was reading some things about the film and all behind the scenes, whatever, and I read apparently that Damien Leone said that when they were doing the score for the film, that they had created like a sinister, evil sounding instrumental version of Kidnap the Santa Claus that they wanted to have in the film, but they cut it last minute because they feared copyright.
Hmm.
Mm.
What do you think?
Good to know.
You
I
think
think it would
that
be
would
neat.
be cool? Like they
Would be
wanted,
cool.
and they wanted to play it during the opening when he's killing the family. And I don't know about y'all, but after putting it together,
Where'd you put that song at? With chopping up the husband, or like after he kills the mom?
I don't know, it's just gonna be during that scene. But I don't know. After putting it
I could
together,
put
I could see that working. What do you
I
think?
could see that song work when he's killing the father while the mother's like sleeping. You just hear that song going off.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
could see, I could really see that working. Like that would have been badass.
Because it's scene where you don't see the kid getting killed, just hearing the noises and the effects of it. That was really good directing. Because there were some people in my theater who were really getting uncomfortable with that scene.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'll admit I was a little worried too. Like, all right, they're not showing it yet, but are they gonna show it?
I do feel like there is an extended cut to this movie that's out there that hopefully
Oh yeah,
maybe eventually comes out.
Damien Leone confirmed that there is going to be a director's cut that's going to be around the runtime of the second one.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
You know what would have been funny though, because they said that the whole time promoting this one, they said it is going to be shorter than the first one. You know what would have been a funny troll move? Because the first film was 2 hours and 18 minutes, right? You know what the funny troll move would have been? Have Terrifier 3 be 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Why does every horror movie have to be over 2 hours long, or any
Because they're-
horror slasher movie?
Because they're cheap to be made, and I think most of them are fine with being a 2-hour movie now. Because they're always horror movies now are like pennies on the dollar. Where like look what Blumhouse, look at some of these other horror movies that are great this year. they're pennies on the dollar and they're making like a big investment back. So that's why I think movie companies, studios love horror movies, because there's not a whole lot of money spent on them. They can just kind of like, make
Yes.
them, have them come out within that same year or later the next year.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you guys think, but I am of the mind that this is actually the funniest Art the Clown has been.
I agree.
Oh yeah. I
Oh
would
yeah,
say so.
totally.
That bar scene alone, man.
I
Like,
know.
When he's in the window and he comes back, I'm like,
Santa.
and plus you get some Daniel Roebuck in there, man. And
Yeah.
who doesn't love a little Daniel Roebuck?
And
And Clint Howard.
I was gonna say Cliff Howard
Yeah,
was in
man.
it too.
And then later on the news you see Tom Savini.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
that
that
was-
was Tom.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, Ben actually pointed out to me. He was like, "Wait, that's Tom Savini."
The audience in my theater were like, I had a huge reaction over that. They're like, "Oh my god, he's
You
there."
know what we need? We need, put this in Terrifier 4, Damien Leone. We need Tom Savini fighting Art the Clown with his penis gun.
I don't know what it is with Art the Clown and pissing.
Exactly.
At least it wasn't spraying
That's what
shit in
had
the
me
walls,
laughing
but we
when-
didn't need to see him piss on Santa.
Well, I
That
think
was
it's-
funny. That was funny.
It was funny, but I think that's the thing with Damien Leone with Art the Clown. He wants to be as unpredictable as possible.
Yeah.
Where at any point he could pull out a gun and shoot somebody out of nowhere.
Yeah, like that's why Art
So that's
uses
what
the
makes
gun
him
is
so
because-
unpredictable. Yeah,
It's because he's not your traditional slasher villain, and I like that they break the rules.
yeah.
It's not as shocking as when he did it in the first one, because that really had me shocked. Like, oh shit, he got a gun. But and then let's talk about the ending again, because I feel like I'm the biggest defender of the ending in terms of defending it being a cliffhanger, because
Well, you're not the only one. I like how it ended. I like how
I like
Sienna
it. Me
lost
too.
everything.
Me too. Exactly.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I don't mind it being a cliffhanger, because would you rather have they ended it like her and the girl, they survived, in the next film they're recovering again, Art returns again. So I like they're switching it up. They're building to something.
I think as long as they go with like, maybe you can go with like the same writers to this movie and all, and
Yeah.
then maybe
And it probably will.
yeah.
Because Damien Leone said that he doesn't want to continue to do this. There is a definitive conclusion to this story.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he,
with
he-
either-
so,
with
so it
either
made
a-
me more excited for part 4.
They said that at most we might get 1 or even 2 more movies.
Hmm.
It all depends
Yeah.
on how much more expansive the story gets.
Yeah. I mean, obviously this movie is this movie is easily gonna make a profit, no doubt
dude,
about it. So
That's
Yeah,
the beauty.
I
of
feel
Marvel
like
films.
they'll easily greenlight a sequel. So
Oh, they
Oh,
already have, yeah.
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 I mean, he's already made $8 million already on a
Yeah.
$2 million budget.
Like, it's already a success. It's already tripled its budget.
I mean, supposedly it's going to make 40 million by the end of the weekend. Supposedly, I don't know if that's the right number, but they're saying this movie's
Yeah.
going to make this movie might end up being number 1 in the box office.
Which I love that, because
and then it might be number 1 next week, because I don't see Smile 2 pretty much taking the top spot.
Oh, there's an audience for Smile too, for sure.
I don't know, though. I mean, Smile 2 is going to be 2.5 hours.
God help us.
Hey
Uh,
Rob.
Yeah.
Hey Rob, buddy. Are you glad that neither of us are watching that, or not watching that?
I'm staying away from that crap.
Wait, you're
I'm
not
seeing-
watching it?
I'm seeing Smile too.
Fuck that.
I'm not-
No.
I thought we just weren't doing a Cool Kids review of it. You're not even going to see it?
No.
You go have fun with that. I will stay away and do something better with my time.
No. Y'all are in it for the
I'm-
long haul, man.
Let me see your war face. Sir! You got a war face? That's a war face. Now let me see your war face.
Hey.
If you want us to go see it, if you want us to go see it that badly, you'd have to come down our way and force us.
I'll bring my best smile.
Yeah, next week
Yeah.
I'm seeing 3 movies next week in the theaters.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I'm seeing. Yeah, Monday I have Saturday night, and then Friday. And Friday, as a big fuck you to Smile, I'm gonna see We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh.
Oh, I heard that's really good.
I want to see that. I want to see that. I do want to see that. I want to see. What was the other one? Oh, Saturday
Saturday
night.
night,
That one
yeah.
looks interesting. I'm actually kind of curious about Piece by Piece. You know, that Lego Pharrell Williams movie. I think that might. I don't know.
That does look good though.
That does look interesting.
I'm seeing The Apprentice because I keep hearing great things about it, and then Saturday night, and then I'm gonna see Smile too.
I don't know. I mean, I already know Trump is a scumbag. I don't need a movie to tell me that. But I'm not. We're not getting into politics here.
Yeah,
No,
let's not. We're not. Don't expect any
Yeah.
Cool Kids review of anything involving politics.
No, it's not. It's not politics. Like he's just keep hearing about Sebastian Stan and just how great he is playing Donald Trump. That's one thing I keep hearing about the movie. Apparently, it is some top critics. It's like top 10 movies of the year.
I don't know. I feel like there was a good balance, Because
Yeah, there was a story here.
There was a story.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Sienna was grappling with her trauma.
And it had a good balance of comedy and dark humor, dark humor and the horror elements together. I really like how balanced it was because you're laughing and then he's killing, and then you're laughing again.
Yeah.
That's the things, especially the shower scene where like the girls wants to fuck Art the Clown, and then she goes, no, not really, and then he just does his reactionary thing.
Oh yeah,
like just playing off it, which was really funny.
Like, you must spell.
That's what I mean. Like Art is at his funniest in this film, just with his physical charisma, if you want to put it that way. But another criticism I've heard of this film is the editing. Is that while there is still story here with the first one, the kill scenes felt completely detached.
I didn't feel that way.
Me neither.
yeah.
It's because he was killing people for the most part, killing people in relation to Sienna, like when he killed the bitch chick and her boyfriend.
I think I was gonna say maybe that was him trying to break Sienna even more. That was probably him trying to break Sienna even more. But I do have a question. I was gonna bring this up in my review, but I forgot. But what happened with the little pale girl?
Ask John, because,
that's one of the loose things they haven't really explained. Like is she another demon from hell with him and just kind of tag along the second movie? Like there's no explanation to her. Yeah.
I thought they were gonna explain her origins more in this movie. So I'm assuming Victoria's. I thought I guess Victoria's now was possessed by the little pale girl.
No, not that, not Vicky.
No, it's another
the other
being
chick,
that was
the chick in Terrifier 2.
Yeah, the Robin to Art the Clown's.
Yeah, the one who
thing,
shit on the floor in the laundry
Yeah,
room.
They never really brought her back, so I don't know if she was just another
according
thing from hell,
to
just to tag along with them for a little bit.
According to our fellow member John, she kept on getting creeped. The actress who played her kept on getting creeped on at some cons by some perverts.
Oh Jesus!
Ooh.
She's a fucking kid. She's a kid, guys. Come on.
Exactly.
I know, dude.
But the lady's name was Samantha. I'm butchering the name. Spaghetti Pasquale or something like that, who played Vicky, and I thought she was freaking phenomenal, especially in Act 3, where she just took over that scene.
I thought Vicky was great in this, but I will say this: I don't think she stole the show, but I do like that she had something to do. Like they gave her a bigger role. I just don't think she stole the show or anything. I
feel like she did. She did steal some scenes from Art the Clown. That scene between her and when Sienna's tied up, her aunt's tied up, and this whole her dialogue and just how she just kind of took over. That made herself more like the villain than Art the Clown was.
I will admit, I do like how prevalent she was in the climax when they're holding them hostage.
Right, because there was a big payoff for Vicky, and I like that they paid her off in this movie.
Do you think she's gonna come back too, like Art, or do you think she's done? Because she got.
I think she's done. She's done. because like I said, the end of the movie, he finds another vessel with that girl on the boss reading the ninth circle, and he just stares at her. So he's going to try to find his next vessel to keep his supernatural ability around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But that can all
Oh,
change
yeah.
because, rules.
Yeah, the Terrifier Christmas song was really catchy. I loved and I thought it was hilarious when Art was doing a snow angel in the blood.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
the
was so cool.
A blood
That's
angel?
what I
Yeah.
mean. Like they actually took advantage of the Christmas setting. It's like what I loved the Thanksgiving movie for is take advantage of the themes. But yeah,
Themes.
Heaps.
Memes.
the fourth.
Memes.
I don't know if it'll be in hell. Like maybe it could be half and half. Like say the first chunk of it is her trying to figure out how to get into hell. Then she gets into hell for the last half of it. But either way, I'm down for that. Like Art versus Sienna and Hell.
I mean, they are taking because the ninth circle is from Dante's Inferno, so they are taking some stuff from ninth of the circle. So I do know they're gonna have some battle in hell. Um, it could be Sienna going to hell to find Gab because she failed to save Gabby, so she's gonna go to hell and try to rescue her cousin.
'Cause,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
I had to guess, is that the fourth film is gonna focus on her trying to hunt down Art because he got away. Like he's off somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, and also she also has supernatural abilities. She healed herself,
Yeah.
which
The
is
sword
another
is gone
point.
though. So
Yeah.
The book, the name, the Ninth Circle. That was a nice Easter egg, alluding to the actually like the first short film that Art appeared in.
Yep.
yeah.
It's something I do love about Terrifier 2, mind you, is it's the song that plays in the beginning of that movie when we see Sienna making her outfit, that little synthy song, the do 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 do.
There was a great
It was-
synth score in that film.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
reminded
it's
me of Nightmare on Elm Street a little bit with some of the score.
I heard there was
yeah,
a
it's
Halloween.
called
I heard there was a Halloween reference to the score, and that there was actually a reference to Nightmare 4. I didn't catch either one, so if you guys did, enlighten me.
yes, that's it. That's it, Chrissy. Equalizer by the Midnight. Ever since I saw that movie, like I added that song. I downloaded that song to my Apple Music. I still listen to it. I love that song.
The Stigmata. What?
The Stigmata.
Stigmata.
What's that?
Mark, we need you to educate us.
We need some. So it's a mark of a mark of disgrace associated with a particular circumstance, quality, or person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like maybe like shame or disgrace in a way.
And like Rome, when you were talking about like, oh, they're going biblical in Christian terms, it's marks corresponding to those to like scars left on Jesus' body by the crucifixion.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And that's another thing. Like about halfway through, I was starting to get worried on if they were going to get too preachy with the biblical religious side of things. But it's another thing that they handled really well and was very subtle.
Yeah, they did a great job with that. Especially when you saw the crown they put over her head, because she's the
the crown of thorns. Yeah.
Like but yeah, I guess it's a real statement to say that even though we may not be, even if you're not in love with this franchise right now, the fact that they're building to something and that it's still getting you invested, man.
Oh, it got me excited for part 4. I mean, I wasn't really. I mean, I was looking forward to part 4, but this got me more like I'm now more excited to see where the story takes us and where they go. What does Damien Leone has in plan for the next one? I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get part 5, but it does feel like part 2 became the new part 1, part 3 became the new part 2, and part 4 is going to be that trilogy that he didn't think he was gonna make, but is now making.
Yeah.
I can see how.
When's the? Did they ever say what year Terrifier 4 might come out? Is it like 2-3 years?
I don't know. It's definitely not next year because
honestly, there's no way it's going to be next year. There's no way.
2026.
Yeah, likely 2026. Yeah. That would be really cool. That would put it
I mean,
But that'll be
2026 is gonna be
interesting
freaking
conflict,
packed too.
like that or Scream 7 for my most anticipated horror film of the year. Which would it be? I'll say for right now, it's Scream 7, but depending on when we get story details for Terrifier 4, maybe.
That's surprising coming from you, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably won't like it.
I have heard rumors that they're gonna re-release it in theaters for Christmas, but it be in the extended cut.
I'll see. I'll definitely go back into theaters to see the extended cut. I want to see what was cut out. I want to see more of like.
Yeah, because
I
didn't you
just
guys
feel like
notice?
there's a lot of stuff that was cut out.
Yeah, because one thing especially, did you guys notice when she's telling her brother, like, I gotta go back to the Terrifier, but then it cuts to her coming back, because you know what's in that present is the sword, so you know she already went back and got it, but we didn't see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right. And that was like the last scene we had with her brother too, with Jonathan, and they tell us he's dead. No, then we get the scene where the uncle's going to pick up Jonathan, and Jonathan's phone or his voice changes, which kind of give you a hint that something happened, but we don't know for sure because they didn't really show us. They just told us, and then we're supposed to believe it.
You also see him like laying on his bed after he has that breakdown.
Yeah.
When he has that confrontation with his sister when they're in like the little church. Which, by the way, I didn't know colleges had like churches.
I didn't know that either. Unless he's at like some private, like some kind of like not state school, but like a private college or something like.
Then he'd be wearing a uniform, wouldn't he?
Not really, because Boston University in Boston, it's a holy college, so it's like, but it's still a college.
So. Who was rooting, by the way? Who was rooting for that true crime chick to freaking fight it?
See, I just wanted her to hook up with Jonathan. I was hoping that she just kind of left the other guy for Jonathan.
I thought that at first, but nah, she's a bitch. I was glad she got put up.
John did make a great point about Sam. Like Michael Dougherty wasn't trying to push Sam as a horror icon; it just happened naturally. Like he wanted, because the point of with Sam was Halloween didn't really have an official icon. You know, Christmas has the Easter Bunny, Christmas has Santa, Easter has the Easter Bunny. He said there wasn't one for Halloween, so he created Sam. But yeah, I'd say maybe Michael Myers, or honestly, maybe Jack Skellington.
Yeah,
I mean, you can. I mean, if you want to go like, big horror icons, pretty much you can go like as back as like maybe the Universal monster movies or something.
Oh yeah, like Bill Lugosi's Dracula, the Frankenstein monster,
exactly.
the Wolfman.
Yeah, you could go back as far as those that for horror icons.
Yeah.
Or for Halloween icons.
But wouldn't that be interesting though? A Jack Skellington horror film.
I thought he froze.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Tim Burton's he's way too protective of Nightmare Before Christmas. He doesn't want it to get tainted. Well, not by a sequel, not by a live action remake.
Just run if they try to throw money at him. Run, Tim Burton.
I mean, they're gonna. Although as sad as it is, because you know, like how some studios will pretty much disgrace an artist's vision.
You know they're gonna.
They'll probably just wait until Tim Burton dies and then just greenlight it. Because just like how SpongeBob, like after Steven Hillenburg died, who by the way said no spin-offs, don't milk this franchise, and yet Viacom and Nickelodeon milked it after he died.
Yeah, we got Camp Coral and the Patrick Star Show.
Exactly.
And they're working on a
which is the equivalent of pissing on his grave.
And there's going to be a Squidward show. They're wanting to do a Mr. Krabs and Plankton origin movie, like the origin of their rivalry, and they're wanting to do a movie about how Sandy Cheeks came to Bikini Bottom. It's stupid.
I mean, they've already made a movie about Sandy Cheeks, and we all know how that shit turned out.
It was horrible.
The movie itself was Cheeks.
Oh, and another example. When Harold Ramis died, what did we get?
That.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
What
Thank
thing?
God we're back. Thank God for Afterlife and Frozen Empire. Hell, Devin, you may not like
Oh,
Frozen
yeah, that
Empire
thing.
that much, but it's
Take that back.
better than a sequel to the other thing.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
They just didn't need to do a sequel after Afterlife. Afterlife was a great way to just close it out.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else we want to say about Terrifier 3?
Give it a watch. Watch the movie when
I
it
think
comes
I think
out.
we're just rambling at this point.
Yeah, hell,
Go give it a watch.
Yes. And buy the mug from
It's
Spencer.
playing in theaters now, so in select theaters and stuff. So I would recommend to see this in a theater.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who here would
Maybe
discuss
this will be able to get you into both the Halloween and Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know?
Like, who here would go see it again? I'm planning to.
I see it again.
I want to see it again in theaters. I just wait for it to come out on like Blu-ray.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends if there's actually anything that actually kind of interests me, and if I have anything else planned that day. So,
Yeah.
but are we ready to announce the next movie?
Yes.
What is our next review?
Why don't you go ahead and do it, since you're hosting the next one, which will be in 2 weeks, by the way.
In 2 weeks, we will be reviewing the epic finale to one of the greatest superhero trilogies of all time.
Venom.
Yeah,
Ew.
no, thank you.
Look, I'll
You
just
have
say
fun
this.
with that.
Like, they're not good movies, but I love the hell out of them. They're just so clumsily charming.
We
But yes,
are
in
Venom.
2 weeks we will be reviewing Venom: The Last Dance. So look forward to that. Hosted by
Yeah, I'm good.
but
Venom and Venom. Yep.
until next time,
Oh, before we go, I do want to say one thing. Speaking of clowns, our review of Joker Folie à Deux got over 1,000 views.
Oh yeah.
hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like,
So,
who'd have thought that the most divisive movie of the year would give us our best
Techni-
review?
Oh, just a
Tech-
John
te-
and Mark. No, I saw Joker Folie à Deux twice. I saw it a second time.
Technically speaking, our
My wife
our
wanted to
Joker
see it.
Folie à Deux review got about more than 1,600 views.
Yeah, like the most divisive film of the year gave us our best video 20.
I kind of wonder which of you used witchcraft to make that happen.
It was me.
It was. And it was beautiful.
But yes, in 2 weeks we will be reviewing Venom 3. And that being said, if you're finding us for the first time and you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, bye.
And we brought light into this world. You're welcome, America.
Every step of the faster.